Hey guys, welcome to another video. This year, I don't know what's with me, I'm just getting sick all the time. My nose is alternating right now between being stuffy and being runny, and thankfully though today I don't seem to have a fever, or I did in the morning, maybe we're done. So I'm gonna sound a little funny, but I really wanted to film this video, so hopefully you can put up with how I sound. So one of my unofficial goals, I didn't originally put this on my goal list, and I now mentally have. This year I want to join in on more readathons. Last year I stepped back from pretty much all the readathons. I think I only did my Read Your Bookshelf challenge, and that's just because I just needed time to just chill with my reading, do what I wanted to do. But now all of a sudden this year I just want to do all the readathons. And so when I saw the announcement for the FAEbruary, I don't really know how to say it, readathon, I 100% knew that I needed to join in with it. So I'll tell you who's all hosting it here. So Tales and Treats with Tay is the actual host, and then she's got some co-hosts. Katie from Paperbacks and Ponytails, Celestia, The Writing Songbird, Cat's Stories, and Christy A. Cole. So I'll have them all listed in the description. They came up with 3, 6, 9, 12 different prompts. And I think what I'm going to be doing is filling in the books for the prompts as I go, because some of them I think I might not know ahead of time if they check certain prompts. So this is a fairy tale retelling readathon, and I'm going to stretch it a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of go for a retelling. Some of these on my list aren't fairy tale retellings, and they did say you don't have to read fairy tale retellings for each of these. Like you just have to read one fairy tale retelling, and then you can fill in the prompts with other books. But I'm going to try to do it with as many retellings as possible. I also know that my February TBR is going to be quite big already, so we'll see what we can do here. Maybe I'll just tell you the books that I pulled out for this readathon, and then we can kind of see which boxes that I know they check. So I would really like to continue this King Raven series. I feel pretty confident that Scarlet is book 2. Hood was book 1. There's also Tuck. Oh yeah, it says book 2 right there. Perfect. Number 1 was kind of a bit of a Robin Hood retelling. So we're following Will Scarlet in here. And this is steeped in Celtic mythology. So we're going to be doing a little bit more of the Robin Hood story here. It's been a while since I read book 1. But this one would count for a few different things. It's a dark red, but there's red on the cover. It would have a male main character, and then I'm not sure about the other ones necessarily yet, if it fulfills any other prompts, but right off the bat that would fulfill 2. Plus this book is over 400 pages, and for my Read Your Bookshelf challenge I am starting on the Montgomery side, so I have to read a book over 400 pages, so this could possibly work for that as well. This is how I'm making readathons work for me this year, like doing a bunch of readathons by making sure books can check multiple boxes. Another retelling I own is House of Salt and Sorrows. This is a 12 Dancing Princesses retelling, I believe. And so I don't know if it checks any boxes in particular. Well, I feel like I am the last to read this book. It's been out for a while and a lot of people have read it. So I feel like this is one that I'm gonna have to read and then see if it checks any of the other boxes. This one is technically on my January TBR, but I don't think I'm gonna get to it. So Spinning Silver is a Rumpelstiltskin retelling, and it's also a chunker. It's over 450 pages. And on the cover, our female character has decently long hair. I'm not sure if it's going to check any other boxes, but this is another possibility. For the record, I'm not going to be reading all of these. I'm just telling you my pile of possibilities. I'm going to put these on a shelf and then pick from them throughout the month, in addition to the books that are going to be on my February TBR. But I would like to get to them, as many of them as possible. And then also by Naomi Novik is Uprooted. And I do believe that this is another retelling, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't actually know. But our main character has really long hair, and one of the prompts is something about an animal integral to the plot. And I don't know if these ones are necessarily, but there are animals on the cover, so possibly. So this is another possibility. Although I can't quite figure out, I don't know how to pronounce this main character's name. She loves her valley home in a quiet village, but the corrupted wood stands on the border, full of malevolent power, and its shadow lies over her life. So I'm not really sure if this is a retelling, but there is something about a dragon in here, so it could be, I could use that one for the animal one. This one is definitely could check a bunch of boxes, I think. So this is short stories. The bind up is called Once, but it has 3 short stories: Before Midnight, Golden, and Wild Orchid. So we've got a Cinderella, I think a Rapunzel, yeah, and then a Mulan retelling. So Rapunzel, yeah, so this, it just says long locks, girl with long hair, and it doesn't have to be on the cover, so that's good because we actually can't see how long her hair is on the cover. But there should be an evil stepmother in here, and technically they're pretty short because there are 3 of them in here. So I would most likely this one will get picked up, I would think, because I've been wanting to read it for a while. And then we have Queen of Hearts. So this is like something to do with an Alice in Wonderland retelling-ish. So it's not a fairy tale, but it is a retelling. It has red on the cover. I don't know if I've read the back before. It says, only queens with hearts can bleed. This is not the story of the Wonderland we know. Alice has not fallen down a rabbit hole. This is a Wonderland where beneath each smile lies a secret. Each tart comes with a demand, and only prisoners tell the truth. I'm very curious. This one seems pretty short. It's right around 300 pages, but the font is quite large actually. I feel like that would be a fast read. I'm not really sure, other than red on the cover, if it's going to check any of those boxes. And then this one is, I think it's kind of like a Anne of Green Gables retelling. This one is a library book that I've had for a while. This one is The Grace of Wild Things. So this is like a fantastical, it's inspired by Anne of Green Gables. This is a magical story of found family, loss, and the power of a girl's imagination. So I'm not sure, once again, if it's really going to check any boxes, but taking it outside of the realm of fairy tale retellings and just adding in retellings, this one would work for that. Our main character on the cover here has fairly long hair. So how does this take? It says, Grace has never been good at anything except magic. Not that anyone believes her. While other children are adopted from the orphanage, nobody wants Grace. So she decides to make a home for herself by running away and offering herself as an apprentice to the witch in the nearby woods. After all, who better to teach Grace to use her magic? Surely the witch can't be that bad. But the witch is that bad. She steals souls for spells and gobbles up hearts. So, I don't know, I've heard good things. This is by the author that wrote the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, but this one is a middle grade story. And if you're going to throw in like Anne of Green Gables, I'm definitely up for that. So I'm very curious. Because it's middle grade, this one would be a fast read. But because it's a library book, it's hard for me to try to prioritize it when I'm trying to get rid of books off of my shelves. And then the last one is like kind of just a retelling-ish of sorts. This was like the biggest stretch of them all. My Contrary Mary. So this is about Mary, Queen of Scots, but this is the beginning of the Mary series. I've been reading the Jane series, and they are like fantastical alternate history retelling type things. And so I'm assuming this one is going to be the same. Our main character on the cover here has long hair, but I do think that maybe I will not actually read this one. I want to start it, but I've heard that I probably won't like it. So it's an option. I actually don't know a ton about Mary, Queen of Scots, so thinking about like her actual story, I'm not sure what this would check. Never mind if they're going to take history and mess with it a bit. So just another possibility. So I think that's all from my shelves that is a retelling or a fairy tale retelling that I could find. If you guys are participating in the readathon, if you've made a video, I would love for you to let me know so I can check it out and see what books you're reading. Or if you aren't on BookTube, let me know what you're reading for it. Maybe that will inspire me to pick up some books. Or if you guys have some recommendations, let me know. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today.